times of loss. The sun rises first in the east. Morning shines on the hood of a new car, but not here. Ah, thank you all. Next up, please help me welcome Rima.
Hi all. Can you hear me? Yes. So I'm reading two poems. The first one is inspired by a painting inspired by a song that was in an album. It's called Another Green World after Brian Eno and Nicole Eisman. Divorced from the turbulent sensorium of activity, from the doing, the engaged, and the productive, from the laborers and their vows is another green world. Emerald, but not like the city. Lime like leaves and peas, not the green of performative activism and plastic lawns, but a carousel of virescent vegetation that holds the same allegorical possibilities as a living room couch. Sleepy bodies, they leisure, they breathe to the beat, to that mint jungle that is just the sound of a salty viola. Ribbed tanks, multiplayer, so spotting the Messiah on the subway, whom they pinch to be sure it's really real, the raunchy, the lovely. Those pairs in the jaded jade, to sleep in the company of strange strangers, to share a balcony and a mossy cityscape. The radical ready-made that is a whole lot of life, a whole lot of time, too much to not do much, to be entirely futureless and wholly exempt from necessity. To not need to breathe, to eat, to find salvation in the sunscape. Pocket the ontological questions. For a precious moment, speak not of practicality and theoretically the myth-making that posits equilibrium, but is in fact a pyramidical prostration. Instead, ask for more touch, please, more senses, for a more complete experience, drip, drop, draping with each overlapping limb in pickled pistachio and crocodile shamrock shake. Another moonlight silhouette, another life on the horizon, drunk text, another genre scene, another commitment to waste the rest of days. The next poem is also in the zine, if I can find it. Da, 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 da. This one is titled No, the Dreamscape. I'm really ambivalent about this title, so feel free to title it yourself. Sleep deprived and sun arised, I'm hungry for yesterday's weather, and to stay up all day, every day, the day away. Find your forages and recollect your memories. Yesterday, how did yesterday smell, and can you still taste it? Walk backwards to trace your steps. Reverse the dirty dishes. Maze in and maze out again. Kill your plants by loving them to death. With breath like you forgot how to fly. Pillow your blankets and smother the light. To find old versions of yourself slumbering still. A fog descends over the bedroom. Translucent grayness and moral ambiguity overtake our island. I find my bed is too soft and the air is too heavy. A violet space made and unmade by me, and the pulsations of a heart attack. Thumping and bumping with consistent inconsistency. I've started speaking sentences that start with an I instead of a we. A you but not a yours. Dying in third person plural, please. Pluperfect, please. You. I. Us. No is the ice cube that melts in my mouth. A coldness, a nerveness, monosyllabic nepotism that makes you, my favorite. The malfeasance of linguistics, words that fraudulently award villainy. I find solace in the novelty of denial, which is, of course, the noblest of notions. I follow the nouns, but not nobody noticed. I notify the nocturnal contradiction. Is it refutation or fiction? Should I bombard you with the false glory of long words? What is the need to narrate the necessity of contextualization, discourse, authoriality, implications, examinations, when noticing the noise, noting its nuance, naming ends, is a more fulfilling activity? I move through the slippery surface of dissent. Noiselessly, I sink my anemic teeth into your no, not no now, but never. Next up is Alex.
Hello, I'm Alex. I'm a sophomore at Penn. I have 3 poems to read for you today. I hope you like them. The first is called Someday Poem. I wrote it last week. I'm also a young poet. Someday Poem. Someday, I'll give you a music poem. No harp twangs, but stereo drums full of horns and blare. So fast, and me to be a music poem. Someday, I'll give you a sound poem. No vowels, but only the tiptoe of air on your teeth. Sound of a scrape, sound of a scoop. Someday, I'll give you a missing poem. Geography will be bendable. The fictive treasure hunt is over, and you can revel in something lost. Someday, I will give you a lion growl poem, something deep inside you that reminds you of your mother's daily trip to the zoo, and memories of groans of young everyone, and life before education, and memories of innocuous intimacy, and old grandmother visits, and alive friends passing through memory, and generational pride, and even your own body, and the younger you, and what you had to offer. Thanks. My next poem is called 4 Words is Plenty, and it was inspired by, I believe, a Bob Kaufman poem I read in ModPo. 4 words is plenty. 4 words is plenty. Say what already said. Try to be new. Open crumpled papers and be bold in fonts. No stutter when speaking. Keeps you from seeing what's behind full sails. 4 words is. And my last poem is dedicated to my lovely girlfriend, who I hope is watching. It's called Our Separate Heats. On 40th Street, I feel restless. Phone in hand, I soldier past garbage cans, peeling street signs, and a yellow drink untouched. I'm exasperated. I find it easier to take longer ways to work. Some days, your voice matches my steps as I jump across streets, twittering between white bars. I open up. What are we doing here? Lights always turning green.
Periodic checks. The ability to see if an email has been read, sender or receiver. Sorry, Michelle. Opening a just closed tab. The small shifts in the seasons noticed over many years. Right. And this is in the zine. Both the next poems I'm going to read are in it. Do you anticipate living longer than the average life expectancy? I don't know how to say I don't want to watch footage of people leaving hospitals. I'm jealous. You assume that health is inevitable return. Get sick, pay, leave. The price of departure. Check the inside pockets of your bag and read the names of the dead from small laminated cards. Me, I put my laundry in a plastic bag that I took from my mother. Personal belongings. Name, room, length of stay unclear. While we habituate to most sensations, we become more sensitized to pain over time. So, a long disorder suggests entropy, but you learn to manage. 1 year and we can leave the house again, sure. My mother told me once that she was afraid she would lose her social security if she didn't go to the hospital often enough. What do you carry forward, and who helps you take it? Wake up. Look to see who died today. The privilege of forgetting and going back to normal is not reading the news or your texts, not answering the phone. It could be much worse, a phrase that is true and feels like stepping into thigh-high bog water. Mortality is relative, like the fabric of a death shroud. Today, I have lunch with a friend and am interrupted by startling realizations, such as I read my medical records like detective thrillers, such as I expect to lose everything I have due to a sudden and cataclysmic health event, but if I weren't born in my zip code, I'd already be dead. All right, this is large print poetry. You direct my eyes to the yellow door of the bookshop. Help me out without making it obvious. Pull me to the whoa, hey side, away from the car rushing down Market Street, if that's the street we're on. What? Some letters you recognize. You and I are here. How am I supposed to read that? I make magazines with size 10 font. They say, the old people can't read that. I say, great, I'm 80, have been since preschool. You want more small poems or a couple of large ones? There's no money in large print poetry, or nobody thinks about large print when line breaks are involved. I read an ebook, zoom, and damn, there goes my enjambment. Next, I try out conscious acknowledgement of the saccade movement of the eye, and damn, the car behind me looks like a blurry shape, and my eyes fucking burn, but only the normal amount. Thanks everybody for coming.
I just want to thank Kelly Writers House for always being here forever. Also to the readers in Poetry Club, also to the audience. There is poetry without an audience, but it's really nice to have an audience. Thanks to everyone for being here. If you're not on the Writers House listserv, now's probably the time to get on it, because this is just the tip of what we have here. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Oh, wait. Will is going to say something possibly about the zine, possibly unscripted banter.
Hi again. I just want to turn your attention to the last 2 pages of the zine where you see quiz time. So, as you can see, there is no written author of this poem or collection of poems because we collaborated on all 4 of them. But if you could, it would be really cool if you guys all tried and treated it like an actual quiz. And then, I don't know how I would do this, but I would like to see, like, photos of all your answers. But other than that, thank you for coming.